It started on the Thursday after the first bombing of Iraq, after a protest outside the US consulate, and there was a call out to bring your sleeping bags and come and stay down, and I guess make a permanent presence in Perth, sort of for the peace movement and just for peace in general, and to give a reminder to the US consulate that this war is not being fought in our name. And I think as the camp embassies developed, it's sort of become a bit of a healing space. There seems to be a lot of sort of pain and confusion and fear in the community, and I feel it's a great opportunity for people to come down, just people passing by on the street and come and talk with us, open a dialogue about their fears and their confusions, and whether they agree with the war or not. We feel that, you know, the best way to flesh out these issues is to talk about it.
So it's kind of a therapy to discuss it and to decide what's right or wrong, or think about it at least.
And I know for the people who have been here, it's definitely a therapy that they just can't sit at home and watch all the bombing on their TVs. They need to be here and doing something. And I mean, we perhaps don't think that we're going to change US policy by being here, but we feel like we're going to change ourselves first. We're going to not feel so overwhelmed by the war, and we're going to reach out to people.
Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely sitting in front of your telly and cursing at the policies and so on. It doesn't feel like it's constructive here. You're really making something and you're rebuilding something every day. As we can see all the sheets laid out here, the tents have been taken down and they'll be put back together, and so there's a building going on.
And there's sort of been a flow of life with the people coming in and out of the camp as well, bringing new energies each day and new ideas and about where they want this embassy to go. And
I was someone was saying to me the other day, where do you think this is going? And it's something to think about, isn't it? Because
the war is definitely not going to stop in Iraq. There's going to be a lot more conflict. There's going to be a lot more backlash from Arab nations, and it's going to see more death and suffering. And with that in mind, I think we need to make a place like this a peaceful place, a permanent place while the war goes on. I don't think we can just disband. I don't think we'd want to disband just because the war in Iraq ends, or if it's ever going to end.
It's surprising that something as big as that can't have any surety or any definite time frame. Then why should something as small and as important as this have any fixed time frame? I mean, it needs to kind of go on as long as it needs, to be there. As long as there's people here who need it. And I think we all do, don't we?
Indeed, I think we do.
And what are you going to do today?
Today I'm going to be speaking to people. It's sort of been a wet little weekend, and everyone's feeling a little dry and a little wet and haggard, and I think we need to re-energise ourselves. And I know on a personal level, just speaking to people on the street always sort of re-energises me.
How do you feel when you speak to people like that guy and his daughter just then? So do you appreciate having different opinions? And
We do. We're a little unfortunate that those sort of comments come and go and they walk off down the street. We'd love to be able to open a dialogue with them, and we've done that on a number of occasions. If people have passed by and made some comment, and we've been able to bring them in and talk about why they're saying that, and don't necessarily change their minds, but I think we hopefully change their perceptions of what we're doing here, that we're not just a bunch of hippies and we're not trying to force a message of peace onto them. We're just opening a space for peace and war to be talked about.
I think that's important as a dialogue. It's not a sort of an indoctrination or a particular view that you have to have, because that's a bit in distinction to the way the kind of government system's working, that we don't feel there's a dialogue, we feel there's a one opinion and we have to like it or lump it.
And that goes for basically the media as well. There's not a lot of people don't feel like they have access to express their views within the media. And we're hoping to encourage more people to engage with, media, talkback radio, writing letters to, try and engage debate within the wider community, which for the most part has really been suppressed. We seem to be swamped with all this sort of US-based reports from the LA Times and the Reuters, and there's no reporting done from Perth about the war really, which I think is really sad. There's no Perth perspective on what's happening over there at the moment.
I was looking at the indie media site last night, and I can see it's nice to know that there is a Perth base. Some people are talking and arguing and some dialogues, and yeah, I think that's positive. I think we should build that Perth focus and build it from there. Because I know what you mean. It's just a swamp of international media, Reuters and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Well, that's really good. Thanks for that.
No problem.